Okay. Oh, wait, hold on one second. Okay. I honor those of you who happen to stumble across this video wherever you are, here at Blooming Light at Bloomy Tribe. And if you're logging live, happy Saturday. I honor benevolent beings all over this plane of existence. And so this is not, if you're wondering, is this a tarot reading? No, this is not a tarot reading. This is more of an intuitive message, and this is going to be for a collective of several masculines. And so I have to continue to say this because I'm even guilty of this. So I'll admit, okay, I'm guilty of this. I've done this in my past until I just started learning. You know, when at first you think everything is about you, you think that every reading, I mean, when you get into that aspect of things, and if you hear any semblance of you or your story, it's you go there, okay? So when you're talking about some on a collective scale, we have to understand that there's other folks, okay? There are other people out there that has very similar stories like we do, okay? So for an example, there was I still don't know who this person is to this day, okay? But there was a person on um I want to say my YouTube, I think, and whoever this person is, they thought eh, they thought that I was like stealing their story or something to do with I guess they dated a boxer. But I had to learn, like, okay, there's other people, dear, that has had similar experience. So for an example, I actually did. I was not um biting somebody else's experience if they dated a boxer, because they could have very well dated a boxer just like me. Okay, I am not the only one on the globe. Okay, hello. Let me change that. Shit, nigga, I'm not the only one that, come on, that has a story, something like, oh, I dated so and so back in so and so, and they became blase blase. Okay, so for me to assume if I see somebody else telling a story, they biting off my story. Well, not necessarily. Some people are, yes. I have many doppelgangers out here. Okay, but all I'm simply saying is sometimes it's about us and sometimes it's not. Okay. um the greater question that we have to start asking ourselves is, what is it that we're not processing in our lives? Okay, because if we're activated, if we're triggered, if we're bothered, if we feel in some kind of way about something, when we hear something, it's an opportunity, especially those of us that are of a certain age. Okay, just to be fair, those of us that are of a certain age, to go, okay, I'm feeling some kind of way about this her, and why? Truth. Why? Not the why that I want it to be, and not the why that I'm trying to convince everyone else it is, but why? Okay? That'll help us. And yes, it has been a privilege. It's been a comfort to have my son's surveillance up, because I do get live footage on a job like that, and it pulls right up in front of me. And it does save. So the good thing is the way the system is set up with the one that I chose, and the package I chose, is you get the live around the clock surveillance, but you also get it all footage saved into the cloud. So let's say even if you miss it, because live footage is available for you, but if you miss it, it's going to give the footage of any time there was any kind of activity. Okay, even if it's not relevant to you, if it comes within any range, okay, it's gonna capture that, and then that's something that you could evaluate for yourself. Okay, and that's it. It's not fixing all of his issues. It's some, okay? It's not going to fix it all because this is on a grander, organized scale. So this is not going to fix everything, okay? So, yes, he has cameras now that are active and live. He has a total of 3, I think, at this point. And they all provide live footage. So a little bit, because it's like at this point, you know, I'll be talking to some higher ups about some other things here, possibly next week, but it's, you know, at this point, certain, you know, when this kind of situation happens, they leave you no choice. And this is something that has to be presented to higher authority. And when I say higher authority, I mean not the ones that are a part of the shenanigans. Okay? It has to be, because it's like, okay, because what ain't finna happen, they can forget about that. Anyway, like they might as well, they can forget about that. That's not gonna happen, honey. That's not gonna happen. Okay, ain't finna take advantage of my son. It's just not gonna fucking happen. Good job. It's gonna be problems. It's just not going to fucking happen. Okay, and since, you know, some out there in the universe try to be super sophisticated and smarty pants at some shit, that's why I'll be approaching some things in a certain manner. Okay, but back to the topic at hand, because that's not what this is about. This is about collectives of masculines. All you guys see as you're coming in is a masculine in his, what did it say? A masculine and his late wife. Remember, lately I've been playing a song. It's I think I've been playing Ricky Martin, and many honorable feminists may have thought it was about, you know, you're like, that's about me, bitch. Maybe not. Listen, it's okay. I'll laugh. Y'all wonder why? Why is she laughing? Because, oh, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay to laugh at ourselves. We're not perfect. We may mean well. Even those of us that are on the higher vibrational side of things, we're still not perfect. Okay? So it's okay. Because sometimes, like, she's all I've ever had. Anyway, I happen to love that song. It's a very pretty song. It's very touching. Yeah, it could be about some of us, but not in this message. Okay? Not this message I'm talking about. A masculine feel that way about a late wife. But for whatever reason, now this is the twist for these groups. It's something late. Like, I don't know, maybe he wasn't, maybe he wasn't seeing something properly during the time. Yeah, I'm not saying that he didn't have feelings or love the wife, but maybe he was too he was too fucked up or too caught, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be, especially if he was a youngster. Okay, it just depends on what his age range was, his development, what was going on. And he may have missed something. He may have known that this woman cared and loved him, but maybe hindsight, a trillion years later, or however many long years later, he could be coming to realize that she was, like, maybe he didn't treat her as well or have enough love or regard or respect for her. And maybe he didn't realize that she was really, out of all these people surrounding him, her family, his family, all of their prospective friends that they both had prospectively separate and together, and both their families, maybe now, this is late. You see what I'm saying? He's realizing like she was actually the one that actually did love him, like cared for him beyond, just follow me, beyond the reason why everyone else was acting like they did. Mm. Damn. Damn. So this is including, maybe that's why whoever these masculines are feeling that Ricky Martin song right now. Okay? Because it's like they both may have had a lot of people around them. They could have had, both of them could have had big families, or could have been big on family. Okay, they could have been big on family. They could have, you see what I'm saying? And if, you know, this masculine and their late wives, they could have had money. You know what I'm saying? And when I say money, I'm not saying that they were like filthy rich or anything like that. I'm just saying maybe they, you know what I mean? Maybe they both had some stable jobs, and maybe that was like new to whoever their prospective families were. Okay? And they could have been like the taker carers of people, both of them. Okay? And it could have taken a toll, okay, on both of them. But sometimes in this message, it's kind of a story of finding out late that all of the people just wasn't what you thought. Like, people, it wasn't like that. You know what I'm saying? The people that you cared for the most, that you sacrificed the most for, that you trusted with every ounce of you, were the ones that were betraying you the whole time, were the ones that was draining you, were the ones that was creating issues for you. Because, you know what I'm saying, one thing and another. And these masculines could be discovering that, yeah, it was a whole lot working against his wife, his late wife, and a whole lot of people that wanted her out the way. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. And maybe they made mistakes. You know, maybe this is a masculine somewhere, like looking back at their, you know, like I said, because it depends on what their age is. If they were younger during that time, then, you know, they could be looking at like, oh, I was stupid. Oh, that was foul. Like, they might be looking at some of that. Like, that was not, especially if they were attractive. I'm telling y'all, listen now. Especially if they were attractive. It depends on what land these men were in. And if they were attractive, child, motherfuckers act stupid. And then if they had a little change between the both of them, because I have a feeling that whoever these collectives are, these late wives and these masculines, like I said, they were the taker carers of folks. They were, both of them. Mm-hmm. These masculines feel like now they're like, she's all I ever had. She's the air I breathe, blah, blah, blah. She's all I've had. It's the way she feels. You know, the whole lyrics. And she made him want to be a better man. Now, I don't know. Maybe he's looking at maybe some troubles that they had. Because, you know, sometimes when you late and you looking back, hindsight 2020, and you start looking at, and you're reviewing arguments, you're reviewing fallouts, you're reviewing incidences that came up, and it starts to, and you see it from another perspective later. You see it, and you go, oh my God. Like, he could have been being egotistical. Meanwhile, she was inspiring him to want to be a better man. a better person, which includes, now here's the thing about it. It's not about changing himself like his, how you say, not like changing him into something he's not. Kind of like, oh, he's an introvert and she's wanting to make him extrovert. Oh, he's dressed like this, she's trying to make him dress like not those things. It's character, it's maturation, it's, you know, all of those things. Not trying to change, like, and not even the woman probably wasn't even trying to change him per se. It says inspires. She inspires. And it comes out like when incidences arise. You see that? And when we're younger and egotistical, man or woman, it's hard to see that. And he could be somewhere sitting like, she knew. Just like he knew. Because he may even be reviewing how he was trying to tell her some shit. Whoop. Huh? About her friends. About her fam. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. And now he could be looking like, and she was trying to tell me. She was trying to tell me too. Like, honey, you. And he could be upset, you know, whoever these masculines are, because, I mean, what could be done at this point? You know, obviously these are women that are no longer here. But as whoever these men are, as they review like all of the slew of motherfuckers that I'm sorry, it ain't funny, but it's like when you start looking at some of the shit you've gone through since, and you're like, oh, the slew of the motherfuckers, man, none of these motherfuckers give a fuck. None of them don't really give a fuck about me. I'm just a fucking workhorse. I'm a work mule. I don't give a fuck. They playing games. They putting on shows and shit, putting on airs. It's a honey trap. Because what comes out is you start getting betrayed. And I think that these masculines, that's what led them to the moment of reflecting on their late wives. This is how I think they got there. Reflecting on their late wives, reflecting on their own behavior during those marriages, and reflecting on their friendships and all their circles and like all of it. And because of recent events, they may realize that they went down a path that these late wives was maybe trying to get them to see, like, that this is not this. No. And it could have included codependency stuff. It could have included, you know, boundary issues, codependency issues, you know, taking responsibilities for things we shouldn't be taking responsibilities for, failing to take responsibility for things that we like. It could have included all of that. Carrying weights and burdens that, you know, a couple shouldn't be happening to carry. And, you know, it's already a challenge to have a marriage. Shit. Nigga. Under the most pristine circumstances, it's still a challenge. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to add to it. You know? Because oh, come on, man. I had a thought the other day, and this was just random. It wasn't even about me. Oh, go figure. See, people be thinking, it's no, not always. I had a thought, because I know that's what people think. I'm like, that's not it, but whatever. The other day, I had a thought, and this was about you know, some of these masculines like that I'm discussing right now, the collective of masculines and these situations. Everybody's got a story, and there are people who got some stories in these types of dynamics where, like I said, we all got a story. We all got a story, man. When we get in these commitments and these marriages, especially these blended family types of situations, and um, depending on the age factor, like some of these men could have went for older women, and they could have had children around the age of these men. Very dicey, isn't it? It's touchy because I mean you already have all the natural factors of what being young brings. Okay, the chaos, the feeling of invincibility, the selfishness. You know, you got all of that. That's standard for everybody. And you know, bringing in this dynamic, we all have heard stories, haven't we? Hmm. For some of these masculines may regret if there was any kind of during the time of the marriages with these women, these older women, that had, you know, they had blended families together, that had children, or should we say offspring, better stated. um, because children, that's not a good word to use, but let's, because maybe they had some children, yes, but then some offspring that could have been, you know, teenagers, young adults, 18, 19, you know, getting towards that age. Um, there may be masculines that could have been some secrets in the family pertaining to some inappropriateness there with maybe one of the late wife's children, daughters. Hmm. We like to believe that our families aren't capable of betraying us, but it is that's 100% so far from the truth. They're the ones who holds the most weight, power, and access to do it. They know who you are. They have all of your personal data information. They're the ones that could do the most damage. And often, not only that, is often there's lots of undealt with issues that they call them karmic. You know, I people are being triggered by words, and so I'm just trying to find the best way to put it. Whether people want to associate stuff with the label karmic or not, it's just in these family structures. There's lots of toxicity that have been going on for generations and generations that has never been dealt with. And it just repeats and it repeats and repeats, in terms of people having unhealed trauma and in these family structures, how they actually deal with that, insecurities, jealousies, all these things. And they'll be the ones that sleep with your man or your woman. They'll be the ones that at least try. If they're, I mean, if it's not, they would try if they felt like it could be something gotten away with. Hmm. Like Alex. I'm gonna just start saying Alex. Fatal Attraction chick, Glenn Close, Alex. Gone with the Wind. But yeah, let's just say some of these masculines may be like in regret from some of their younger, looking at the marriage if they were younger, like, oh my God. And then realizing that these are people who were setting up betrayals. I know that some of these masculines were involved in some of the stuff and some of the stories, but that's not what we're talking about right now. I know that some of them, unfortunately, was a part of their own wives' issues that arose before they left. Because it's called, you can't be somebody like me and not know that. Living and experiencing what I am and not know that. They send them in for you. Huh? He may be looking at, though, these collectives may be looking at some stuff the wife went through, not realizing like, oh, it was bitches cursing her. Easy peasy. It was bitches doing root work. My hoes. My haters. Her haters. Her friends. My friends. Her family. My family. Was doing shit to her. That's where sickness started coming in, and issues. This started happening to her. That started happening to her. Out of nowhere, seemingly. They wanted her out of the way. Hell, they may have been being offered some shit. That may got some of them reviewing because it's like, maybe this was going on back then. And the answer to that is yes, it was. This is not new. It's always been a target on honorable beings that are in the process of remembering. So they try to preemptively strike to make sure that doesn't happen. Keep them in addiction, keep them oppressed, keep them distracted, essentially weaken them, compromise, get them out of here. Before they can, before that light bulb turn on altogether too bright, which means then whoever is their partner, then the light bulb is going to turn on too bright for them, which means then they're going to be pulled out of the karmic reincarnation loop and cycle of bullshit, which means then that means all this shit, this free gravy train shit stops. And that's a problem for leeches. It's a problem. It's also a problem for the system. Because system, okay, this ain't no conspiracy there. Let's just call it. Okay, let's go. Listen, you all. If you don't have to have a religious or spiritual bent, just follow. Use a business mind. I'm going to tap into to the business folk out there. Okay, businessmen and women. I'm going to talk to y'alls. Okay, whoop. Especially those of you who are inclined, to numbers. okay? Businessman, businesswoman. So from your perspective, because see, there's no emotion in that, isn't it? Not for the most part. The passion and emotion comes with starting a business, but when you're talking about the bottom lines, no, there isn't. When you look at stuff from that perspective, you'll see it there as well. Okay? Where's the money at, baby? Bottom line. It's in consumption. It's in the chaos. It ain't in no liberation shit. It is not in, because then, nigga, if you do that, you know what I'm saying? I'm just doing business math here now. They have to view the market. They have to do, there's an actual formula, cost to benefit ratio. It's an actual accounting formula. That's a formula. I remember when I took accounting 1 and 2. It's an actual formula. Y'all should Google that. It's a formula. So that's what businessmen do, though, baby. They assess the situation, they assess the market and demographics. They have to have a needs assessment. All those things all go into play. And then it's, where is the money? Which will yield a greater return? Which will yield the highest probable revenue? And in this instance, it's certainly, I'm saying it this way for people who don't really want to, who feel in some kind of way, you know, in terms of whether it's religion or spirituality or anything like that. So that's why I went business. Because when you go there, it's hard. It's hard to refute. You're going to have to just sit there and look at it. Okay? And when you go from that perspective, it's like, So when we do our analysis, so for we could come up with our business plan and shit based on this. The money is in the chaos. The money is in keeping leverage, which means keeping a level of secrecy and powerful control, which means we need people in bondage, dear. There's going to have to be somebody. Because how, you know, we ain't going to making money off of freedom, bitch. Anyway, I'm getting off track. That was extra. So again, it does tie into what I'm saying, though, about the masculines who are resonating with this message, that some of them could be reviewing a lot of things about their own conduct and behavior with their late wives, realizing like how wrong they were in some of these scenarios, not being willing to see clearly. Okay. Allowing their ego, allowing their fondness, even in some cases fear. Because a lot of us, we don't want to admit it out loud because, well, maybe it's just not something we want to do. But a lot of us grew up in scenarios, situations, we could have been very much scared of our own people. And that's sad. And the only reason why we think that's okay and normal, for especially those of us that are of the African American culture, the only reason why we think that's like respect, we think that's respect, we think that that is normal, we think that that is honor because of slavery and because of the repetitive history of trauma and domestic abuse. So it's hardwired in our damn bones. That causes us to look at things like being afraid of the people that you should feel the most safe and comfortable with, that you should feel the most safe and comfortable with being yourself, with being different, with expressing yourself, with having a boundary. There shouldn't be an ounce of fear that cripples up in your being. If it's there, that's because it's some toxic, fucked up ass shit. Whether that is fear of being fucking, retaliated upon, or, fear of being cut out or thrown out, or family, you shouldn't be feeling that way. And if that's the feeling, that's something wrong. I'ma scream that to the mountaintops until forever. Something ain't right. Even when we think differently, I'm not saying people like, okay, we all get upset, but that fear, that unnatural, if I tell them no, what do you mean? You grown. What do you mean? What do you mean? If I change my mind, they go, do we hear what we're saying out loud? It's supposed to be your fam. Supposed to be the people who, air quote, love you. But you worrying about them retaliating against you because you have a different opinion than them? Because you have a different view? Because you want to tell the truth and they want you to lie? Some of us don't realize until late. These masculines could be looking at that. Because, you don't want to deal with people who can be a bitch fit. Some of us, oh, come on. We come from drama queens and kings, baby. And everybody eggshelly, tippy toy round nose. And everybody else is expected to kind of just grin and bear it. Especially whoever the selected scapegoat is. Because don't nobody feel like dealing with it. Don't nobody want to deal with them having a bitch fit. Or a man bitch fit. Yo, don't nobody want to deal with it because they gonna bitch and moan and they gonna pout and stomp and throw shit, glasses, tacos, bongs, bitch. You know what I'm saying? And, and folks don't feel like dealing with it. So they comply. That's why these people got used to acting like that too. That's another video. That's why they got used to act like that, because they discovered that when they do, this is how they make people do what they want them to do. All I gotta do is have a bitch fit. Start throwing shit. Start getting loud, throwing shit. Stomping. I'll get my way yet. And it worked. Those of us that have been a part of families like that, we know that it worked because we watched how everybody would just go be quiet or go into another room and, basically give this person what they want just to not even deal with it. And there could be masculines realizing like late in the game, like, but that creates even a greater problem. That is not how you deal. You shouldn't be afraid. Even if there's a disagreement, you shouldn't be afraid. And even if you're not going to give them their way, you're a person, an individual person. And you're allowed to change your mind. You're allowed to grow. You're allowed to mulch, you know, which means like you're transforming something about you. You're allowed, at least you should be. You should feel, and the place that we should feel the safest to do that is family. To grow, to evolve, to transform from being a young buck who was, a criminal to, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, we all got a story. We all do. But when people benefit off of, listen to me, and the masculines in this message, they know what I'm saying at this point, whoever they are. When people benefit off of your toxicity, they're going to be the first ones that have a major problem when you are not wanting to be toxic anymore. And it's just as simple as that. And unfortunately, I believe that these masculines thought the exception to the rule would be what was closest to them, their friends and family. They could have expected maybe rando strays that they dealt with to kind of flip out and have a bitch fit. They could have possibly been prepared for that. Like, I expect that, okay, if you change the game, you was toxic, you went in blue, blue. Okay, they're going to do that. And they may try to hurt me, and they may do this and that, But I don't think they expected the closest things to them, though. They never do. We never do. That's the whole point of what I'm saying. We never do. We always only see, at least initially, we just see external in terms of beyond our inner circle. We'll see, oh, some rando dude I dated, some rando co-worker of mine from so and so. Like, we automatically gonna pick up on that. Oh, this person over here, but it's your mammy, honey. It's your mother, dear. It's your mother. It's your mammy. It's your daddy. It's your sister. It's your auntie. It's your uncle. Like, we ain't never seen none of that. It's your niece. It's your never. Nah. You ain't seen none of that. It's your baby mama. It's your baby daddy. Sometimes we don't want to see that either. Because, we may have a trillion thousand year history. That don't mean shit. Again, because hear me out, it's cool as long as you are what they want you to be. Say it again. As long as you are what they are used to you being, as long as they get to control the narrative and keep the upper hand, as long as you let them continue to abuse you and continue to stay in compliance, then it's all gravy. But the moment you start developing an inkling of a spine, the moment you start developing an inkling of individuality, the moment you start going off of the script of what they have been used to you fulfilling, the moment you don't bow and cater, the moment you put up a boundary and hold it, then it's DEFCON 5. All of a sudden, all that love went down the toilet. And bye-bye. It went in bye-bye. All that love, all that respect, all that I got you, all of that cutesy shit went down the toilet. The moment you speak up for yourself and assert yourself, if they're used to you just zipping your lips and taking it and putting your head up your ass. The moment you decide, even if you do it in the most elegant way, it doesn't matter. The moment you decide to speak about it, it's DEFCON 5. Where'd all the love go? Where'd it go? Where'd the love? Where'd the love? Where'd the love go? What happened to the love? What happened to the love? Hey, see that? Where did the love go? Where did it go? Now all of a sudden you got the heebie-jeebies and you don't even know why you got the heebie-jeebies. You flat on your back, you know what I'm saying, got to get a surgery out of nowhere and don't really know why. All of a sudden, you're having all this weird occurrences that's air quote seemingly just natural life events coming out of nowhere. All of a sudden you're extremely tired and you don't have any kind of diagnosis, ain't nothing changed about your diet. All of a sudden, the moment it went off of the script, and they can, especially for the passive aggressive ones that have an image to uphold, and so this is just what they do in the dark. It's the things that they construct in the dark behind you. And then they'll sit there and play like, you know, what happened to the money? I told you to, you know, I still told you to hold this for me and put this away for me until I get, you know, and and see, and here's their revenge. I'm going to tell you what their revenge is. Gonna really make some. I'm telling you, because these are the passive aggressive types that need to pretend like they not fucked up. They'll play like they got robbed. Somebody. Hey, whoever you masculines are out there that ends up seeing this someday. Listen. Let's say, hey, dude. Let's say you went to jail, right? And then, well, let's say either you went to jail or you were in a hospital or some kind of a let's say rehab, whatever, right? Okay. And you were there for a long time, let's say maybe a year or whatever, and you were entrusting your fam. Nigga, you were entrusting your fam to some shit, nigga. And then when it get close to time, it's you gonna hear people clearing their throat, stuttering. You gonna hear all kind of stories. They got stories for you now. Oh, I don't know. I think, you know, we got robbed. I had some issues with the account. You gonna hear every story under the sun, but the real truth is they was living the life off of you and was doing some fucked up shit, some spell work on you, motherfuckers, all kind of, they was doing. Ooh. That's what you gonna find out. Gonna be pissed. But they, like I said, they'll tell you everything but the truth. And they don't, because they don't care about you. See, that's the part that we have to get to the place to accept. Feminine already has on her journey. She accepted it. One of the hardest things that she had to accept, that her family did not give a fuck about her. And that they went around town, cities and states like they was so-called concerned for her and her children. And that the whole time they were just looking for ways to entrap and just, set them up, do shit to them and their kids. That they don't give a fuck and never have. And any of their so-called support, which turned out to be not support after all, in retrospect, realizing that they were being stolen from. She accepted it, I know it sounds grim, but it's not about being grim. It's just about accepting. I mean, the quicker you can accept something, then you can put yourself in a healthier space. Feminine learned it painfully hard. She's still shaking off of the shock of it. She's still doing that. Because it's like, it's really that deep and it's really that sick and it really exists. When they want to be you. When they're, these masculines, y'all may have had a hard time to accept that your own family. Feminine had a hard time, but maybe it was easier to realize at some point. Masculines, you guys may have didn't get that your family was jealous of you, your siblings, your cousins, or even some of your friends. And to such a magnitude, listen, they liked the benefit of you. They liked anything that came with that. But essentially, if they could take what you had, given the opportunity, they would. If they can get you out the way and keep the benefits of your shit, they would, nigga. They would. And I know masculines, you're looking at this now because you're thinking about your late wives, and you could be thinking about maybe you were being granted another opportunity. Now, in terms of some of the other feminines that song may be referencing, you might be drawing a connection. Where even though you could have gone into something maybe not so savory, you could be drawing the connection like, wow, it was supposed to be my shot to get my goddamn act together. It was, I just did not want that. My ego didn't want it. I didn't want it. I don't want that. But that was my opportunity to possibly alchemize something pertaining to the late wife, because the late wife unrests, especially if it's some foul shit. All I'm gonna say, that's all I'm gonna say about that. Because see, one of the things I've started looking at is something that I've been good at for several years, but I never really knew why. And I just shook it off. Thought it was just yet another weird thing about me. Shit. When I look at pictures, like all kinds, and I'm not talking about the beauty, the physical aesthetics, that the reasons why we look at pictures. That's not what I'm talking about. Like our features, our outfit, the angles, the lighting. I'm not referencing that. I can whatever energy that we could be going through. If we're under attack, I can see it. But I can also see like the progression, if I'm able to see some pictures and like look at, let's say, the beginning of when somebody met somebody, and then look at like the progression, like maybe 6 months later, a year later, and look at the person. What I've started to realize is us being in abusive relationships for a long time, it affects our health and well-being, but our appearance, it does. It really does. That's why toxic people that try to force their way, that's why they do what they do. It's called narcissistic abuse, and you all should Google it, because you'll then find out for yourself. It can alter a person. Somebody could have met somebody who are all vibrant and, and all things being equal, of course, natural age progression, but that's not what we're talking about either. Some stuff is like, this shit has been toxic, bitch. Now they getting autoimmune issues and shit. It's starting to, you know what I'm saying, change the structures and stuff. That's due to abuse. Yes, narcissistic abuse. Especially, listen, if you got it physical, spiritual, energetic, all it's all the same. Especially if that person doesn't have access to or knowledge of what's going on. They just think that shit's happening, so they don't know how to, you know what I'm saying? And then when we convolute our energy, I don't mean to get too far off into that, to each his own, respect. But the truth of the matter is, when we be out here like that, and then mixing all that energy, and then you fuck around, you know what I'm saying? Shit. Run across somebody that's got the bad alien. And you're like, what the fuck was that? Exactly. What the fuck was that? They eyes went black, nigga. They all What the fuck? Yeah. And then all them energies start competing. That's why some people may start having reproductive problems. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So back to what I was saying, masculines, those of y'all out there, this is, for y'all, and you're thinking about your late wife, you're realizing she's all you ever had. You may be pretty mad at the world, mad at yourself, mad at your family. You may be going through that, and all I have to say is it's valid. You're gonna go through that. Feminine definitely went through it, because you start realizing like people just did not want you happy. Like when you cut through all of the BS, it just come down to the nitty gritty. Like people just simply did not want you happy. They couldn't be happy without you being unhappy at the end of the day. They couldn't really be happy without you being unhappy, without you being in some kind of slavery or bondage to them or something. That's the only way they can find themselves sedated or sated, is to know that you're tortured and sad. And then now they can breathe, bitch, knowing. They can smile. They got a pep in their step, bitch, knowing They done fuck some shit up for you. And that's some sorry shit for motherfuckers that's supposed to be your damn blood. For motherfuckers, yeah, that's some sicko shit. Or you always have those ones that their life sucks and they just want you to sit there in the hole with them. You know what I'm saying? And because they don't want to make any of the proper changes for themselves, they want you to be their fucking in lieu of shit, you know. And so they seek to sabotage any threat to that. That's toxic. And y'all know it, whoever these men. I'm not saying all. I'm referencing the fellas that res with this, that this is about. It may not be about the fellas that y'all thinking about. Okay? These are fellas that done had a hard way to go. They done went to jail, bitch. They done lost money, bitch. They done lost, you know what I'm saying? It done been a catastrophe, bitch. And it's taken this to get them to start to be willing to look at themselves and look at their circle. Because everybody ain't gonna want to change with you. We gotta all swallow that. And it's gonna reveal itself to you. Some people cool with what they is, okay? They cool with it. It ain't our job to make them uncool with it. They cool with it. Hashtag stay toxic. They cool with it. As long as they're able to get some come up, baby, they cool with it. As long as they, you know, it don't have to negatively impact them. As long as it can be kept in the dark, whoop, you know. They ain't trying to hear none of that. They ain't trying to hear nothing about none of that. Nothing about no sudden case of conscience. They won't. They got to them. They got bills to pay. Back to that business. Back to that business mind. Cost benefit ratio. Yeah, dollars and cents on ledger. Okay, they ain't trying to hear none of that. Trying to hear none of that. She ain't conscious. That's not what we ordered. We ordered. When you go to a restaurant, you be like, that's not what I ordered, right? You try to come up with some conscious. But that's not what we ordered. We ordered cutthroat good for nothing. And we're going to want our pay. We ordered a killer, and so we're going to need that. Conscious. That wasn't in a contract. We ordered callous narc, and we're going to need that to manifest. We ordered a competitive shrew. We're going to need that back online, please. Y'all be all right though. Whoever y'all are out there in this universe, when you step onto this video, masculine, but you survived. If you hear this video, whenever you hear it, it means you survived. It mean by the hair of your chinny chin chin, nigga, you was fixing to die, bitch. But it means that you got out. You was finna die, motherfucker. You was finna die. You was saying, Elizabeth, I'm fixing to come. Here I come. I'm about to go. Fred Sanford. I'm on my way, Elizabeth. Oh, help me. But you survived. You might got a lot of wounds, much like feminine. Okay? A lot of wounds, a lot of scars. But you survived. You may have had to start over and over and over again. You know, you may have had to cut your losses. But at least you, at the same time of cutting losses, you finally gutted out the gangrene. You know, which is a painful process, which, man, maybe some of your tissue had, you know, I know that's kind of gross, right? But maybe some of the tissue, you know how if you got gangrene somewhere and if you're trying to salvage, sometimes you can, but, you know, you do sometimes lose a little bit of the tissue because, you know, it was nothing could be done about certain parts. So we may, you see that? It's okay. That's, you know, at least guess what? Well, guess what that means? Guess what the upside? Oh, Masculine's gonna say, is there one? Yeah. The upside, there is. The upside is you're starting from fresh, but you're starting, listen to me, but you're starting from the brand new you versus the old you. That's the beauty. It's you know what I mean? Clean slating. And you get to make some different choices and you get to practice some of your sea legs, your new skill set. You get to, you know, see what it's like to not be hashtag toxic and to look for other means to come up in life. And you know what I'm saying? Other than looking for people to hurt. You get to create a family on your terms instead of just because of it being blood. You get to decide to build how you want to build and practice the new skills and wisdom that you've gotten through all this pain, all this betrayal, all the loss. You get to go it alone for a while. Oof, isn't that refreshing? To not have to have anybody to answer to. Good gravy. You know, for a change, bitch. You know? Not have to tap dance for motherfuckers for 5 goddamn minutes. You know? Wouldn't that be nice? Shit. You get to do that, shoot. You get to go on your own little journey by yourself. It's y'all. And just get to figure you out and decide like, who am I? What do I want to be, bitch? Do you know where you're going to? Do you like the things that life is showing you? Where are you going to? Do you know? Who sings that? Do you know? Okay. Get to evaluate. Do you like the things that life is showing you? Where are we going to? And we get to alter that. It may not be much to some folks out there, but the whole beauty is we're graduating past that shit show rat race bullshit. Because it's a shit show. You got people out here selling their souls for that shit, and it's just not worth it. Ain't nothing wrong with ambition and success. I'm just simply saying you get to determine it. That's what I'm trying to say. We, on your terms. You might want to live a simple life. You might decide that you want a simple life. You might decide that the only reason why you was tripping on a whole lot of shit is because everybody that you ever been connected to around was always tripping on a whole lot of shit. And what a life that might be for you. Do you know? She'd be like, shit, I think even sexuality. And I know, the trigger warning, but I mean, these are all things that all of us should be comfortable with being able to explore without fear and judgment. And I understand that often our sexuality has been tainted by trauma. But I also believe that that is true of every aspect of our lives. I do. In terms of our likes and our dislikes and our decisions, I believe that. So I believe that it's really not much different. But I believe we should all still have the room and space for that. Do our, to alchemize shit, but like, okay, who am I? Instead of, I'm not here to perform for motherfuckers. Okay? Like shaking ourselves out of that. Like, I'm not sure your workhorse. In fact, if I'm African American, yeah, I'm gonna need whatever that said that I was supposed to get, nigga. Where's my cattle, bitch, and whatever the fuck they said I was supposed to. Shit. No damn slave. Humanity, though. The Matrix? Yeah. And that's what I'm shattering. That's what I'm here for. Not that other bullshit. Not the trick shit. I ain't for none of that. That ain't real. Huh? Loosen my shit. My soul and shit. You know? My ancestors really, the ones that transcended is really upset. Upset about that shit. Like, ooh, that's gonna be the one that's break this karmic loop. Now that's what I'm talking about right there. Right there, right there. Good fuck. Because we didn't transcend this shit, and this was a trick. Crazy. Anywho, so that's it. Let me get off. I'm getting silly now. I got to clear up my energy a bit. I done got 1,000 dings on my son's surveillance system, about 20 times. Pictures coming up. Pew, 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 pew. And again, like just like that. As soon as I said that, that's crazy. Then another one came up. That's kind of dope, though. Let's make this count. I told myself, I told myself, I said, this time is personal. And I'm going to make this count. I'm going to make it count. So masculines, who, if this is applying to y'all in this message, shit that's been done has been done. But make it count. And what do I mean by make it count? That means you change the game. You go out swinging. You go out tearing shit up, bitch. You tear shit up, swing. And I'm not talking about like illegal. So let me. you Samson, nigga. Let's just play with some symbolisms, okay? Samson, whoever you want to equate to, but it's like make it count. I decided that I was going to make shit count. It's going to stick, bitch. My name will ring And not for some arrogant, fluffy shit. It's going to be, boy, I tell you what. Make it count. You retrieve, you make it count. Give them hell. And tell yourself, if I'm going to suffer anyway, well then fuck it then. I'm going to get it. Fuck it. Just fuck it then. Fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck it. Find your fuck it hat. If I'm going to suffer anyway, okay. Very well. Give them hell. Give them hell. And how you do that is you fight to be the best version of yourself, to do all the things for yourself, in yourself, to make these changes, do what they never wanted you to do, stand up, speak out, be all the things. That's how you give them hell. You give them hell by showing them that they don't dictate and control you the way they think they do. You face your fears, because, these people, they play dirty. They play hardball. I'm clearly aware of it. They play real dirty. So when they got any kind of dirt on you, any such bullshit is blackmail and bullying. Okay? So you face it. You face all of it with courage. You give yourself a strategy, but do that, because that's how you're taking back command. The only reason why lots of these individuals and groups have morphed into what they've morphed into is because they've been successful for a very long time with bullying. And that's the short answer. Whether that was through spell work or by ganging up on people. And other people just being too damn scared to say anything. And it always starts with one bold and courageous person deciding that, nah, fuck that. Because fuck that. I live by the decisions I make, and I ain't cool with this one. Because I'm responsible for that. See, I'm responsible. If I'm grown, I'm responsible. Huh? I'm going to change the game. And that's how you do it. One moment and breath and step at a time. And it's not going to be done perfectly or easily. And you're going to have your moments. It's not, it just is what it is. Okay? And that's how you do it. That's how feminine is. That's her aim. It's like one breath, one moment, and one step at a time. She is getting strategic downloads and stuff like that. You be as cunning as they are. That's right. Because ain't none of them playing by no goddamn rules. I can tell you that right now. And neither should you. They only push that shit to force people into compliance when they themselves are not upholding certain laws and rules themselves. Think about that.